I believe I have found the perfect equation for you finding the best beard possible. Now, there's a lot of interchangeable factors that go into this actual equation, but there is one aspect, one factor that is the most important, and that is the idea of it being for you. I'm going to break down the equation in just a second, but just a brief welcome. Thank you guys for checking the video out. My name is Dan C. Bearded. I absolutely love beards. I absolutely love people having more confidence in their life and improving the trajectory of everything they're doing. If you guys are on board with that, hit a thumbs up. If you're new here, I think you might want to consider subscribing to the channel. I will not let you down. Those that are returning, thank you guys so much. I appreciate every view, every like, every comment, every message. You guys are amazing. Okay, here is the equation. Take equal parts of your genetics and your life situations, put them together, and you are going to find a balance that's going to give you the best beard possible for you. Everybody's equation is different. It is impossible to have the same factors for everybody when we encounter those genetics and the life situations. So let's take a look first at the genetics, right? First and foremost, you are given a hand that you have to play. There are things that you can do to enhance that, to get the most out of your genetics, but we do not have ability to be superhuman. We do not have the ability to mutate yet or anything like that. So all you can do is add up little pieces to get the most out of what you have inside. Now, again, we can do things like exercise, use great products, use science that will lean us in ways like supplements or products that can actually activate dormant hair follicles, all that stuff. But it's still within the realm of your genetics. So overall, you have to consider what you have and rock what you got, right? There are maybe some goals or some ideal beards for you out there that you just simply cannot get to. It's not a thing that it's like, you know what, I'm going to shoot 10,000 shots with basketball and I'm going to get better. You almost have a ceiling that if you do everything perfectly, that's your limits on your genetics. Maybe you have some areas that don't grow as thick as you would like. Maybe areas don't grow as long as you would like. You got to consider that and start to form it into this equation. Now, the second half is a little bit more kind of complicated because you have some give or take that you need to do, and that would be your life situations. You got your genetics, but now we also have to consider the other side. What are some aspects of life situations? Your job, your spouse, your preferences, your environment, and many other things, your fashion, all those come into play. With your job, right? I'm a firm believer in being able to work at a job where you can be yourself, but I know not everybody has that luxury or that ability to take a risk, right? They have a family depending on them. They're not going to go out and leave a job that's good to them, so they have to fall into the parameters of that, right? I live a job and a life that is absolutely amazing. I'm very fortunate. I don't have some heavy labor, hardcore type job. So I can rock a big full beard and not really have to worry about that. There are other people that work in something like construction, or maybe you have to wear certain protective clothing where a big beard can get in the way. Now, I'm not saying that that's a deal breaker. I have buddies who have huge beards that work in construction. They braid it, they tie it, they put it up in a net. You can make it work in almost any situation. But for some people, that's just not worth it. Now, the same kind of goes with your spouse, right? I believe spouses should accept what makes you happy. If you have a beard that fits your genetics and it makes you happy, I would hope your spouse would support you on that. But we know that's not the reality, and sometimes the spouse will maybe make a compromise. Like, hey, I love your beard. You want it to be this long. I want it to be real short. Can we meet in the middle? That's a life situation you have to consider. I do believe that marriage is about compromise. Again, in a perfect world, they're happy because you're happy, but maybe you have to consider that. Other things, maybe you have a kid that just absolutely grabs a long beard and maybe they are not able to learn, they're not able to adjust, maybe there's a disability there, and as they get bigger, it gets stronger and it's just not something you can have. Okay, let's consider it. What about climate? Are you in an area that's unbelievably hot and just for you personally, you can't stand it? You can't stand the humidity, you can't stand the sweat in the beard, whatever it may be. Maybe you're someone that has a sport or a hobby like swimming. Maybe you're a college swimmer and you don't want a long beard and chlorine just killing your hair every day, and a shorter beard fits you well because you can trim it more frequently to get rid of the damage. All right, that makes sense. Now, here's where the real equation comes in. How do we find the balance of the genetics, let me rewind that part, the genetics that we are given and the life situations that we have in front of us. Where do we find that balance? Where do we make it all work? I believe that you can consider all these factors and put them together, and you will find the best beard possible for you. I'm going to take 2 seconds to collect my thoughts and leave. I do have some really big words of wisdom on this conclusion, so if you could stick around, I hope that it might make a difference for at least a few of you out there. Do not become obsessed with comparing your facial hair to other beards out there that you see, especially ones that are on the internet and it's in perfect settings, great lighting, just after a barber trim and looks amazing for one night, and then it's much worse the next few days and you guys don't get to see it. Don't fall into that trap. This equation is for your beard, your journey, nobody else's. It's human nature to see something and want to compare or want to have that. I'm telling you to avoid that. Figure out where your genetics meet your lifestyle and situations, and let's find that equation, that balance. The balance is key, and that will give the perfect beard for you. And if you can go to bed at night and think, okay, I'm maximizing my genetics and I'm finding that perfect spot for my life, you know you have found that right beard for you. Same with me. People ask me what my goals are and all this stuff. I just want the best beard possible for me at any given moment. And I am going to have a kind of follow-up video on a similar-ish topic, but I do believe that this perspective and this mindset might be the most important aspect on this channel. None of the other stuff matters if you're not happy, right? The grooming, the products, the styling, that is irrelevant if you're someone that's insecure and does not like their beard because you are comparing it to all those beards you see, or you're trying to fit into a box that's not possible in your life. Let's get rid of that mindset and find the equation for your beard. Down below, guys, what are your thoughts? Please do me a solid here and leave a comment. I would love to hear your journey, your experiences, your observations. Was this something new for you? Was it food for thought? Do you have something to push back on a little bit in a respectful way? I would love to hear that, you guys. And as always, especially if you made it to the end here, I know I get to talking sometimes, but I just love this stuff. I want to say thank you, guys. My name one more time is Dan C. Bearded. Stay bearded and stay positive.